All right, here we go with Jay Teaches Reading for All, Lesson 2, which is the B lesson. And the first thing I'm going to do from a page in my book is go through the main sounds of the letters, and I'll explain why I'm doing this later. A, apple. B, bat. C, cap. D, donut. E, egg. F, flag. G, gun. H, house. I, Indian. J, jet. K, kite. L, lamp. M, mountain. N, nut. O, two sounds. I, octopus. Aw, ostrich. P, pig. Q, quarter. R, rake. S, snake. Or zipper. T, top. U, umbrella. Umbrella's kind of hard to see. V, vase. W, window. X, axe. Y, yo-yo. Z, zipper. All right, now you may want to enlarge this. Next time you look at it, you can hold down the control key and tap the plus sign, which is the top of your keyboard next to the backspace. And then if you want to reduce it, you hold down on the control tab and then you tap the next key next to that plus key, which is a little takeaway key or dash. It's not the top one, it's the bottom one, and it'll bring you right back down. And did I say you also could just enlarge your screen? That might help. But you may say, Jay, I've known this forever and ever. Why bother saying it? Well, because I'm, 74 years old and I just learned that little trick a couple years ago. So I'll be saying things for the grandparents like myself who are teaching young students and they may not be tech savvy. It was only 3 weeks ago I learned how to upload a YouTube video, so I'm way behind the curve. All right, I did this for parents who have young students who just aren't ready to sound out words. I mean, you can just tell they're just having too much trouble, too much aggravation, and they'll mature eventually and get to the place where they can do that. But until that time, there are activities that you can do with these students. And one of the activities is you can have them sing the ABC song with me from Lesson 1A. Another thing you can do is teach these main sounds of the letters. Not all of them, but the main sounds are here. Another thing you can do with them is practice printing. You can get a printing book, or you can do the dot to dots with them, but teaching them how to print is useful. And as you're teaching them how to print the letters, you can review the sounds. And some of these printing books, I'll tell you, use the wrong symbols, especially on the vowels. And I'm going to show you Channy's bad choice for the O. They were trying to do a long O, which is O, but they picked owl. That's not right, because OW has the ow sound. It's not an O sound. So you'll have to be aware of that. I'm giving the standard sounds that I use in my material on this page, and I would follow these sounds. Okay, another thing you can do with the and by the way, before I forget, as you're doing these printing letters, every so often you can put together a word and ask the student to see if they can sound it out. Like when you get to D, you can try them on the word add. Add, and see if they can sound that out. When you get to G, you can try them on the word egg. Egg. Just every now and then, give them a try and see, how they're doing. And in a period of time, it depends on the student how long it will take, but eventually they'll get ready to sound out words, and then you can take them back to the course again. Another thing you can do, which is something that all teachers can do if you got enough time, and that is read to the student. And I would highly recommend using at least 90% of what you read as being nonfiction. And why do I say that? Because it's got lasting value. In school, these young students get too much fiction material. And reading stories like Foo Rabbit Visits Grandma Hare might be fun and entertaining, but doesn't have much lasting value. And children love nonfiction. They love learning about careers and famous people and interesting places like caves and mountains and jungles and deserts and oceanside and oceans and what's under the ocean. They love stories about animals, all kinds of animals, insects, etc. Stories about how to take care of pets. Of course, you got to be careful of that if you don't want them to have a pet, because they'll definitely want one after reading. They just love these kind of stories. So why not? Because they are reading something that's going to have lasting value. Also, they love reading something that they can put into action, like reading the instructions for making a paper airplane, and then following those instructions and making a paper airplane. Or something a little more complicated, origami. If you think they've got the dexterity to do that, you can read instructions for making these paper things. And they love making those things. Also, cookbooks, children's cookbooks with pictures, and children's science experiments. They love to do these things. These can be a little pricey sometimes, but you can find good deals. Like just a few days ago on Amazon, I saw one, I can't remember the exact title, but it was something like Awesome Experiments for Children. And it was free on Kindle. And so it was a bestseller, and you can understand why. But you can find these kinds of books reasonably priced. And with the cookbooks and the science books, you have the added excitement of possibly burning up your kitchen or blowing up your house. So that's a little, added plus. And you may ask, Jay, why bother with these kind of books, the activity books, because you're not doing as much reading with them? This is true, but because the kids like it so much, they're making it an association between reading and enjoyment. And that's one of the main purposes for this course. I not only want children to learn how to read, I want children to be excited about reading, to love reading. And those kind of books, the activity books, will foster a love for reading. Okay, just real quick, and I don't always do this, but I'm going to tell you one more time how you can order a hard copy of the book. Here is the book, which I didn't show last time because I didn't have it with me. It's got 125 pages, and at the end, you've got 9 CDs. So that's the book. It costs $25 if you're ordering from the United States. It costs $35 if you're ordering from overseas. And you make out a check or money order to J. Shutt. And my address is Post Office Box 581, Interlochen, Florida, 32148. And while I'm here, I will say again, the easiest way to get to these videos is to type in J. Shutt on YouTube. That'll take you to my channel. Click on the big blue channel ball, and that'll get you there, and then you can access all the videos. So that's something, information that you might want. All right. We review before we go into a new lesson. Normally I go back a couple of lessons, but we've only got one lesson to go back to, even though it's got two parts. And so we'll only be reviewing one lesson back. First, I want the students to tell me, what sound does the short A make? Apple. What sound does the N make? Nut. Okay. And the second part of the review is going to be reviewing the words. We had 3 words. And here they are. And students, I'd like you to try to say these before I do. An, like an apple, an orange, an umbrella. Next one. Anne, a girl's name. Next one's another girl's name. And Nan. Now, teachers, if you think your student needs a little more practice on that, just press pause and give them some more practice on these words. Another thing you can do, teachers, if you think it would be helpful, and I think it is helpful, especially at these early stages, is give them a quick spelling test. And of course, if you're going to do that, I'll help you out a little bit, and we'll cover up the words, and you can press pause and give them a quick spelling test. Of course, if you've got a student that knows how to print, you've got an easier time with it. Other teachers will be using those little 2x2 cutouts, which is really easy also. You just have to get them out. Okay. So that's the review on the last two, or the last lesson, really. And now we're going into our new lesson, lesson B, which is B. And hopefully you can tell that this is a bat. I got rid of my cover a little too quickly and showed you what lesson 3 was going to be. Getting ahead of myself. Okay, so we've got bat. And for those doing the printing, you can hang with me. For those not doing the printing, you can go straight to the part about the new words. But for the printing practicers, the capital B is formed by making a straight line down, picking up the pencil, going to the top, making 2 half circles, 1, 2, or if the student knows what the number 3 looks like, you can say that they're going to be making the number 3. Then the small b is made straight line down, and that's the bat. I call this the bat. Without taking pencil off the paper, come up and make the ball. That's what I use for the real young students. I say, bat, up and make the ball. Okay, and that's going to help us out when we get to the letter D. So those doing the printing, press pause and take care of that. All right, hopefully you had the students say B after each practice, which I forgot to remind you to do. Now we're going to read the new words. And the first one is B and ban. And ban means not allow. They ban smoking at school. You're not allowed to do that. Sometimes they ban walking on the grass. If you're at a museum or some elegant restaurant or something like that, they may have signs, do not walk on the grass. They ban walking on the grass. It means to not allow. The next one is nab. Nab. Nab means to grab somebody doing something wrong. A policeman can nab a robber trying to steal something from a store. You can nab a brother or sister trying to take something of yours that they shouldn't be touching. So nab means to grab somebody doing something wrong. And these two words are words we do not use very much. So the students will undoubtedly be unfamiliar with these words, which is going to give them a little bit of a problem for a while until they practice them. So the next thing we're going to do is have a spelling test. And for those that are using the cutout letters, you'll just need 3 letters, the B and the A and the N, to do these 2 words. And I'm going to cover them up because, of course, there is no peeking allowed. All right, press pause and take care of spelling. All right, I hope you had fun with the spelling, and I'll see you again in Lesson 3, the introduction of the letter C. Cap.